wrestle pretty much everywhere in the world. I want to go wrestle in Japan. I want to go wrestle I'll just go wrestle for Impact. I'll go wrestle for WWE. Wherever I can do, I want to do. But my end game is to be able to make money through wrestling and have that just not say what if at the end of the day. Pretty much, I don't want to say what if. I want to end up making money into wrestling, and I want to be happy doing wrestling. Because I mean, if you're not happy, then there's no reason to do this. Because 6-hour drives for $20 is not fun, and that's just how it is. So if you're not happy doing wrestling, don't do it. It's not for you. But if you're still having fun, like wrestling and everything, that's pretty much my end game right there. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I mean, we're both pretty young. Like, it's gonna be what, year 5, like you said.
Yep.
But I still consider myself very, very young in wrestling. I could probably tell you that I've been training for about 4 years and been wrestling for a year. Is how I would see it. Because it wasn't up until I believe I met Andrew that I really got focused into it. Um, like I just really, really focused into like I want to find a show every weekend. Then I want to start wrestling twice a week. Then I want to wrestle 3 times a week. Hell, we find a show on Tuesday. Let's go on Tuesday. You know, it's just that's my end game, so I can just wrestle, man. I just love wrestling.
That's awesome. And again, we're talking to Mayhem Merlin and Critical Carlos Gabriel. One more thing. Now, throughout the time that AEW was announced, and this, I mean, I look at a guy who I trained with, Joey Janela. This is a long time ago. I'm not trying to put smoke up my own ass because I'm a nobody. But I remember working with him. I remember working with him in his infancy of his career to where he is now. Now, personally, like I'm over the moon for him in particular. I mean, he wouldn't remember me if he tripped over me. But for somebody who was there with him, it's cool to see that now he's signed to his first major promotional contract. But you see the stories of him. He was working a pizzeria, deliveries and doing stupid odd-end jobs. And now he's finally where, he was making money off wrestling for a little while, doing his thing over the last 2 years. But now he's really, I don't want to say set, but this is where he wanted to be in life. And kind of like what you were saying, Carlos, of like, you want to make money wrestling. And then you see a story where the Young Bucks put out where Matt couldn't afford a $1.99 chicken sandwich from Popeyes or something. And Nick had to pick up the tab. Yeah. And you see stories of redemption and like perseverance and everything like that. With how the wrestling market is presumably going to shape out to be. Now, I'm here, and I've said this now since before this announcement was made, since All In. The wrestling game is going to be the best it's been since the Attitude Era, period. Like, I don't want to hear any other debate from anybody. I don't care what they say. I will go even further to say if done correctly with social media, it could be looked at in a better light than the Attitude Era. But with the way that the game is changing right now, other options for bigger television companies, again, MLW, Impact, AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, how much, and you see the stories of perseverance and everything like that from guys like, Janela and the Young Bucks, just to, name a couple people. How much harder does that make you want to work as a talent to get there? Because you've seen, well, they did it. Why can't I? So what do you feel about that? And what do you feel about the health of the, I mean, we already talked about Florida, but in main big time television wrestling going forward.
So, well, like you were saying, you got to train with Joey Janela a little bit. My one little bragging moment is I got to do a security spot on Impact one time, and Cody Rhodes gave me a clothesline and threw me out of the ring. So
nice.
I completely understand that he wouldn't recognize me if he tripped over me. But to see someone who, when he left the company because he was unhappy with his, creative direction and wanted to kind of do his own thing, and then went out on his own and, was kind enough to talk to me backstage and answer just a couple of questions when I was asking him, and we chatted, one of the nicest guys in the world. To see him opening his own company, really shows that literally anybody could do anything if they really believe in themselves, first and foremost, and have the drive to do it. So, the fact that, he's somebody who has all this experience under his belt and is doing this, is inspiring to somebody like me who is just getting started and, wanting the same thing, wanting to be able to wrestle, be happy, change the game. I think that that's something that, stands out as a big inspiration for pretty much anybody who's in my shoes.
Yeah, with the whole Cody Rhodes thing, I can agree that, he made it and then ended up setting the bar for people who want to make it. He was already at the top of his game, and then he elevated the game even more. That's pretty impressive. But the thing that you were saying about Joey Janela, and I don't know Joey Janela. I've never met him. I've never seen him in person. I've never even seen him wrestle. But the fact that he signed a contract, for us wrestlers that are just starting out and wanna do the things that they're doing now, I'm speaking, I guess, for myself. But I'm actually, I'm happy for people like that. I've never met him. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's a good person. If he saw me in person, he was just a dick. I don't really care. From his story going to what he's doing now, that's great. And, you said, if it makes us work harder. Well, I have, a little bit of a story of when we were doing a show in Indiana. I don't know if you've ever heard of, we were supposed to be going to a show in Chicago, and it got canceled out, and that was for what is it? Freelance wrestling.
Yep, I'm familiar. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're supposed to go do a show in freelance wrestling, and we're driving throughout the night. I just got off of work, and we're driving throughout the night, and about 12 hours in, the show gets canceled. So we're stuck in the middle of nowhere in Indiana, no show to go to. And we ended up, we had to drive back because on Sunday we have a different show to do in Florida. So we're stuck in the middle of nowhere. Thankfully, I was at the time with Aaron Epic. If you've heard Aaron Epic, he's from the New York area.
Yep, I heard of Aaron Epic, yep.
So he's probably been one of the coolest guys in wrestling. So he's been our trainer here at Team Vision. So I definitely grew close to him. So we were going to go do that show in freelance. Ended up getting canceled. Thankfully, he could make some calls, and we ended up going to Pro Wrestling Freedom in Indiana.
Yep, I'm familiar with that as well. Yep.
And then the next show we did was IWA, and honestly, it was like a dream come true wrestling for IWA. Watching it all these years, from them when they started, when they were really big, to now, and their resurgence recently. It was a dream come true to wrestle for them on a Saturday. I saw there in front of 15 to 20 people, Marco Stunt and Myron Reed wrestle.
Okay, yep.
And I know you heard those names.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Thing, national television and everything. Those two guys, first Myron Reed, I met him at OMWN. When I used to train at OMWN, and then Marco I met for the first time that night. Both super chill guys, super cool, nice people in the world. And when you see people like that wrestling in front of 20 people, having one of the best matches of the night, to go in front of national television and having the best match of the night is absolutely great.
It lit a fire under my ass that I want to get focused in wrestling and do the same thing, Because those are probably two of the hardest working guys I've ever seen in the ring. Probably the nicest people I've ever met in the ring, and the fact that they're blowing up from one night to the other is amazing.
Yeah.
The story of watching people work hard and making me want to work hard, lighting that fire under my ass to because I know we can do it too. I know that we have a long ways to go, but I know that there's talent here, and I know that we can do it too.
Yeah, and it sucks for Marco, especially that he's injured now, but that's kind of the way of the business. And
he'll be fine. He's a strong kid.
I have no doubts, but you were kind of
more popular than ever.
Yeah. Oh, please. When he comes back, wherever he goes back, it's just going to be a big story in wrestling that Marco Stunna's returned to the ring, wherever it may be. But no, but like that's what sucks because like you're just getting there, like you're gaining your popularity, and all of a sudden you have to take a little vacation that you don't want to take. So, but again, nature of the beast.
And that's just wrestling, man. Like that's just wrestling, though. Like people don't realize the risks that you're putting your body through, and he's doing it because he loves it. And I know right now he's probably sitting at home hating everything, other than playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's the life of a wrestler, though. If there isn't any real,
He'll be back. He'll be better than ever.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to hold on one second. There's somebody coming in. Okay, so somebody is messaging a question here on Twitch. How did you guys pick your theme? From Rob Low Killer.
So the theme that we're kind of going with is a little more based on my personal lifestyle. So I am actually a stunt performer. I do a lot of stunt shows. I work at Disney World, and I do the Indiana Jones stunt show. I've done Pirates. I've done Sinbad. Me personally, I'm an adrenaline junkie. I am that fast-paced, high flyer, like looking for the next big thrill ride kind of thing. And when I was kind of pitching the idea to Carlos about it, I showed him the Point Break movies. I said, "Hey, look at these guys. They're those guys that are chasing the next big adrenaline rush and looking for that high and whatnot." And he got kind of on board with it. He a little bit into that lifestyle too. I would say he's getting there. I'm trying to get him to go off skydiving with me and stuff like that. But
oh, you wouldn't catch me dead doing that. Never.
Yeah. What was that?
I said you would never catch me dead doing skydiving. So Carlos, no one's calling you a chicken here. Just telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, they can call me whatever they want. That's really high up there. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been on the top rope, but man, that is some business. But like free falling and whatnot is my euphoric feeling. Some of the stunt shows I do, I jump off of a 36-foot ledge and I fall all the way onto a pad on the ground, or I jump out of the ceiling wearing a rope and a harness, and stuff like that. So when it comes to being in the ring, I'm all about flying around and moving fast and jumping off of stuff. And I think that's kind of how we pitched this idea of putting our team together. Listen, I almost fell out of bed one time and almost crapped my pants. So it's gonna take some time before I get out there.
Oh man, yeah, that I don't know, man. It could rub up on you, Carlos, the little bit more of the daredevil lifestyle. But then this person replied afterwards, says, "Why are you afraid to fly like Andrew?"
Why am I afraid to fly? I'm not afraid to fly. Honestly, it's really not that. It's the thought of the sudden impact afterwards. Yeah. I'm more of a realist. Anything can happen at any moment. But I'm not really afraid to fly. Personally, I like the whole adrenaline junkie thing too. I just wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't around that lifestyle like he's been. I mean, he's been jumping out of things since he was probably popping out of the womb. So I got started in my stunt career as a fire breather when I was 16 years old.
No shit.
I pitched the idea to my parents. Yeah, I pitched the idea to my parents, and they weren't super fond of it at first. But eventually, after like a month of telling them, like, hey, this is. These are all the safety precautions I'm taking. This is the science behind it. This is how it works. They finally let me do that. So fire breathing was my first real start to stunt work. And then, like I said, I've done a couple of shows, handful of film and television, stuff like that. And I think that's something that kind of helped me transfer all of that into being in the ring was, being on a trampoline and doing a little bit of tumbling and having that high fall experience is just, it helped me transfer all those skills that I needed to in the ring, and being able to keep that similar style of wanting to fly around and do fun stuff.
So just so everybody knows, this guy's been breathing fire since he was 5, and I burned my finger yesterday boiling water.